trophied up. Yeah. Hey, do yo, trophied up. Do your dance when the G's up. G. Spaced out, got me geeked up. 10 toes on the west, can I beat us? You cannot. Shining every time they meet us. Rack 'em up, since 96. Been number one in LA, something slight, that's the gist.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Talking Galaxy live watch along of LA Galaxy versus Real Salt Lake in Sandy, Utah. Today, I will be joined by two co-hosts. First of all, Galaxy News 101, aka Sean. Welcome, buddy.
Hey, what is good, everyone? We have a big game today on the road in Utah.
Yes, we do. And then I believe he will be joining us shortly, but Galaxy Runs LA will also be here later. But yeah, let's go right into lineups here. First of all, Real Salt Lake, we'll just quickly go through this. Arthur Cabral in goal, Catranes, Justin Glad, Brandon Vera, Hidalgo, Ojeda, Anelli, Marzuk, Luna, Gonsalves, and Pio up top. Not much to make for this RSL lineup. I think they're pretty full strength to my knowledge from what I looked at the injury report yesterday. So RSL full strength lineup, or close to, as close as you could get within the range of an MLS season. Galaxy, obviously, the big storyline is not so full strength. You want to go through the lineup, Sean?
Yeah, sure. So the biggest issue or the biggest headlines today is that Gabriel Peck and Maya Yoshida did not make the trip for this game. We saw yesterday it's with the availability report, Peck was dealing with, I believe it was a thigh issue.
Yeah, it was I reported it as, I believe it was, well, I know Maya Yoshida is a hamstring issue, but I think Gabriel Peck was a hip.
A hip? Okay.
Yeah, so he's questionable going into this match, but we saw earlier today that he did not make the trip to Utah. He was still training. All the injured guys trained. So, yeah, Peck didn't make it. Go ahead.
We have rotation here as we do have a big midweek game down in Mexico against Tigres. In goal, we have McCarthy. Your back line is Aude, Garces, Zanka, and Harbor Miller getting the start again. Your midfield three is Cerrillo, Ruben Ramos Jr., and Tucker Lepley. And then your attacking three, which surprisingly to me is Barry's getting the start instead of Christian Ramirez. And then you have Joseph Painsil and Diego Fagundes on the wings.
I think what surprises me a bit more than Miguel Berry starting is the fact that Nascimento isn't. Because I think you figure if Miguel Berry's starting, then maybe Nascimento is expected to get a significant chunk of minutes against Tigres. I would have expected Nascimento to start this match, if I'm being completely honest, because Christian Ramirez being on the bench isn't much of a surprise. He's had a lot of minutes, especially against Tigres. In CONCACAF, you need that man to step up on Tuesday and be the man to score you goals, propel you to the semifinals. So I'm not entirely surprised that Christian Ramirez isn't starting as much as I'm surprised that Nascimento isn't. I think the expectation that Nascimento was going to start was very much there. So you got John McCarthy in net. Not much of a surprise. Goalkeepers don't need much rotation. They don't, they're not doing much strenuous work. It's a very mentally tough position, but it's not physically enduring as much. Julian Ade, Amiro Garces, Zanka, and Harbor Miller in the back line. Interesting one here, I think, is Harbor Miller. And yeah, before I go further, welcome to the stage, Mr. Galaxy Runs LA. Welcome. How you doing, buddy?
There you go. Unmuted. I'm doing good. How about you? I'm ready for hopefully a dub.
Yeah, we're fired up today.
Maybe dub's not on the scorecard for us, but we'll hope and we'll pray.
Yeah. Certainly could just be one of those matches, honestly, where you go up to Salt Lake and kind of just it's a tough place to play on the road. The Galaxy didn't win there last year, and RSL's had their losses, but go ahead.
We won 1-0 there last year.
Oh, we did?
Peck scored the winner.
Oh, man.
It was a 1-0 game.
Makes you really miss last year. Let's see. calling it right now. 6-2 Galaxy. Interesting. That'd be a wild one. I want to
We
see
would all
goals.
take that though.
Oh yeah, I mean, obviously, I would take a point out of Salt Lake if I'm being completely honest. And then in the midfield, you got Edwin Cerrillo, Ruben Ramos Jr., and everyone's fan favorite Tucker Lepley. And then the front three for the Galaxy is Joseph Paintsil, Miguel Berry, and Diego Fagundes, who has the captain's armband for this match. So, what do you guys make of this whole lineup?
It's a solid lineup. Again, it's rotation in there. You're showing your want to compete in CONCACAF as well. I don't think it's bad by any means. It can realistically get the job done tonight, especially that front three. I mean, you do need Diego Fagundes and Miguel Berry to step up, but I think given the chance, they will hopefully get their form up from here.
Yeah, certainly.
I'm
I think
calling a Nascimento goal off the bench today.
Nascimento go off the bench. That'd be
Yeah.
nice. I could certainly see that. I think the Galaxy are probably content with the draw here. Going into Salt Lake with rotation ahead of Tigres. I know we haven't gotten a win this season, so that's probably not what you want to hear. But the truth is, a win might be a little far-fetched. That being said, Salt Lake aren't that great of a team. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like they are. 4 losses on the season, same amount of losses as us, except the draws have been the draws that we have. They converted into wins. So not an incredible amount separating these sides. It's not like Real Salt Lake is just this invincible team by any means. That being said, let's get right into score predictions for this match. Personally, I have, after this lineup, I think the Galaxy, I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game, man. I think it's 1-0 Salt Lake. I don't think anyone's going to be able to get on the score sheet for the Galaxy. And RSL, once again, are not that great of a team. Like, this is truly a mid-off between these two sides. I don't believe that there's going to be any team separating themselves too much from the other. But score prediction, Sean?
I'm going 2-1 Salt Lake. I think they will come out of the gate hot, get 2 goals before the half, and then we get a late consolation goal at the end.
Okay. Galaxy runs that.
You guys are a bunch of negative Nellies. I'm gonna go 1-0 Galaxy.
Somebody
gotta
had to
bring
be
some
different.
positivity. Yeah, the
There we go.
Nascimento goal in the second half. Yep.
I like that. I would love to see the Galaxy get another clean sheet. Clean sheet against Tigres was a positive step forward for the Galaxy. Obviously, Zonka in for the injured Maya Yoshida. Harper Miller in for Miki Amane is just a rotational thing. Miki Amane is not injured to my knowledge. So just balancing out some minutes. I am a bit surprised that Edwin Cerrillo is going every single 90 minutes. It's a lot of weight to put on his shoulders. God forbid anything happened to Edwin Cerrillo. He's been a bit underrated this year. I've been critical on him at times, but he's been a workhorse as well. Edwin Cerrillo has been Mr. Reliable for the Galaxy. Whereas Nascimento? Nascimento's on the bench. Nascimento is not starting this match. So, that, to my knowledge, is a bit of a surprise. I think if there's any game to get him a significant chunk of minutes, I would have expected it to be this one. So, yeah, I don't know where the Galaxy go from here in terms of getting Nascimento like a start, because I would have figured with Peck out, you want to rest Ramirez, that this would have been the perfect game. Winder, you want to tell him where Winder is, Sean?
He's on the bench tonight. Also, speaking of the bench, Marco Reus also did not make the trip and is not on the bench again for the Galaxy, which is a big blow for how much he's getting paid this year.
Yeah, I mean, salary-wise, yes, but I feel like on-field production, you're not missing much without Marco Reus. He hasn't really been there for the Galaxy this year. And in fact, I would argue that we look worse with him on the field. You saw him out for the away trip that we had to Minnesota and Portland. The Galaxy actually looked half decent there. Dropped the Orlando game, in my opinion, best performance of the season. Should have got our first win for the Galaxy. I think you're not, scratching your head too much without Marco Reus. But, it's one of those things where, yes, you do want your big money signing to be there for the Galaxy. So what do they do with Marco Reus after this year? That will be another discussion, probably bit into the offseason or even the summer window. But that salary is not looking too nice for this man not to play. So we got 2 losses, 1 win prediction. So it's gonna end up a tie, probably.
No,
More than
it's gonna be a
likely, this
dub.
is
It's gonna be a dub.
gonna be a nil-nil tie.
Positive vibes only from me.
Okay, all right, I like it.
I just
I
want to add
like
a little point though. I think Barry starting over Nascimento really just kind of points at where Nascimento is on the depth chart. I mean, I think Barry's ahead of him, and it's unfortunate because we had so much hype around Nascimento coming in, and we're thinking, oh, he's going to be our starting striker for years to come. We're going to get him off on loan and stuff. But I mean, it just hasn't meant to be so far. So hopefully it changes. I mean, I predicted him with a goal tonight. We'll have to see.
Is that a bit worrying to you guys,
Yes, definitely.
Sean? Is that worrying?
I don't think it's a huge issue. Yeah, I mean it's been a while since he's had that injury, but he still is coming off of an injury. Still needs to develop, and Barry just has that experience. He has the experience with the team, this team itself, and I just don't think it's a big issue.
Okay.
If in the summertime, around that time, like July, August, he's still behind Barry and isn't getting chances potentially on the wing either, then I think that's an issue, and you got to start looking at maybe we should have used that U22 spot somewhere else.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I was also very high on Nascimento coming into this. I know it's a loan, which is probably the most worrying part of all of this, is the fact that he doesn't have much time. He doesn't have much time. You got 34 regular season games, whatever amount of games you play in other competitions. If you're Nascimento, you should be starting matches like this realistically. He's been with the club since Coachella. And I think it's right to be critical on the fact that he is not a starter yet, or at least even in rotational games over Miguel Berry. He's third on the depth chart. Maybe it's a sign of things to come in terms of him getting minutes against Tigres. Who knows? This lineup's a bit wonky for the Galaxy. Nascimento, I would have expected to start this match, but I do agree that maybe this is maybe it's a bit worrying, the fact that he's not a starter yet, at least in rotational minutes. We got a 2-0 Galaxy shout. Let's see. I don't understand the Nascimento hype when he hasn't proven himself as a striker in any league yet. I sort of agree. I mean, I was high on Nascimento because I believed in his potential, what he could be. But with Dejan Joveljic, when Dejan Joveljic came to the Galaxy, yes, he was not the most polished guy, but he had goals in Australia, I believe, or Austria. He had goals in those divisions. He had a lot of them, actually. He had, I believe, 15. And Nascimento doesn't have that pedigree. Once again, played for Botafogo, so there's a bit of a tax there, especially Brazilian tax. But we'll see going into this match. I think Miguel Berry plays a much different role than Nascimento. I think you'll see the Galaxy be a lot slower in build up, a lot more methodical in the way that we try to go forward. This match is getting ready to kick off as we speak. We got Guido Gonzalez Jr. as the referee. And yeah, Galaxy versus Salt Lake. Drop predictions in the chat. Now or never, guys. You gotta call it before the whistle. But any other takeaways before this match starts? Anything you expect from this game?
I expect a dub.
All right. What's up, Prod? We got Prod, we got Tony, we got Blessing Paint. So we got everyone in the chat today. Make sure to share the stream if you can with anyone. Like and subscribe if you haven't to the channel. RSL have kickoff here. We got Galaxy Runs LA with Good Eats over here.
I gotta mute the mic. I don't want to hear the crunching.
And of course, we got Ant in the chat. Ant's always a regular. Sean, are you a bit concerned at least not to see Winder talk about the depth chart? Are you not concerned to see, or are you not concerned that Elijah Winder is not starting these rotational minutes?
I really thought he would be starting this match, especially since you had Lepli play in the midweek, but I don't think it's something to worry about. Winder wasn't bought to be a starter right off the bat, and I think we're going to see that especially in the next few games where he might start one or two, but I think he'll be mostly on the bench for the rest of the season.
Yeah, the Galaxy are underway here from Salt Lake. Salt Lake in red, Galaxy in white. And yeah, Salt Lake get kick off there in the attack here. I think Elijah Wander. I think Wander's a long-term project, if anything. Coming from the USL, it's kind of low risk. There was a lot of hype around him, kind of making an immediate impact that you haven't seen so far. So that's a bit worrying. And really, the two investments the Galaxy made haven't panned out so far. You've seen guys like Harbor Miller, Tucker Lepley, even Isaiah Parente has been a surprising one as Joseph Paintsil closes down that ball. Almost gets that ball high up the field from the goalkeeper. Garza is now building out of the back, but I think the Galaxy's long-term projects within Elijah Wander, within even Nascimento haven't really panned out so far this season, which might be the biggest shock thus far, I feel like. But
That's good to add
Say those-
Sanabria to that list.
yeah, that is true.
I guess those investments kind of define the season. I mean, last season we brought in Peck and Paintsil, and they're going out the gate, it's like running.
Right.
These our new signings haven't really got out the gate just like them. So I mean, maybe that's the reason why we have been struggling so much.
Yeah. I mean, certainly injuries too, but like we had depth at the start of the year is the fact that we had depth. We had a lot of it. Even with the players that we had to sell, I thought we had enough to compete. Definitely more than we are right now as Joseph Paintsil gets leveled down that right wing. It's going to be a free kick for the Galaxy, and he's down in some pain. Talking about injuries. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I know, obviously, Peck and Paintsil were brought in for $11 million, $10 million signing. So there was an expectation for them to come off to a flying start. Peck struggled for about a month or two, but got right into the flow of things. And I guess we kind of had more of an expectation. Maybe we were spoiled by the new signings last year to say that these guys were going to come in and be immediate game changers for the Galaxy, and they haven't been this far. Definitely could help the struggle, because I think if you see guys like Winder, Sanabria, who I know has dealt with injuries, and Nascimento step up, the Galaxy might be in a different spot, but not yet. As the Galaxy take the free kick with Edwin Soria, launch it back post, crossed in the middle. That's a good area to put it. That is a good area, but it's going to be cleared out for a Galaxy throw in here 3 minutes into this match.
I want to touch on what you were saying about maybe we were spoiled last season and like comparing it to now. I don't think wanting expectations from players who costed you money, because Sanabria wasn't cheap. Winder might seem cheap compared to other MLS players in the league, but he's still the highest transfer fee in USL history there.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair, but oh, that is a bad play out of the back. Miguel Berry almost gets put in. RSL have been a bit shaky here early out of the back. They're trying. You can see what they're trying to do, but I think the Galaxy's press is working very well as they're closing down Arthur Cabral. Seem a bit unsteady right now. You are right. Sanabria, I feel like if I'm banking on a player that will have a comeback, I'll call it right now. You could clip it. I think Lucas Sanabria will have a comeback for the Galaxy. He'll come back from injury. He's had time to learn the system, go through film of what went wrong the first couple of games before he got injured. Didn't have much time, but, I think he has more time to learn the system. Look at the guys who's playing in front of him right now. I think he'll be fine. But if he's not, you spent $5 million, which is a lot for a U22 player. So it's right to be fair, fairly critical on Sanabria if he doesn't come good. But yeah, that's certainly an assessment that you can make that I think is fair. Is John McCarthy is going to take this free kick. Miguel Berry is also a pretty decent aerial threat. I know Christian Ramirez is too. Maybe that's a difference with Nascimento, is that he's not there in his aerial duels. So that goes out for RSL throwing down the touchline. Okay, Sean, since you're here, Why do you think there's pressure on Greg Vanney right now?
I think there's pressure on Greg Vanney because the players that he has aren't producing anything. You have a grand total of 0 wins in the MLS this season. You have 2-3 draws or something like that, or 2 out of 18 points, which just is unacceptable. The style of play you're playing each and every game, even when you're changing it, is not working, and that's an issue. You have a goalkeeper, you have 2 goalkeepers who have pressure on them and then are making mistakes from it. We saw McCarthy against Orlando have an absolute howler at the end with that mistake he made. So you have players who are pressured, who aren't performing because they're pressured, and now your manager's pressured because he's trying to get these guys to get something, but they're just not.
Galaxy runs LA. Do you have any opinions on that? Any
I
thoughts?
think there's more pressure on the players than Greg Vanney. I don't think Greg Vanney is gonna get the sack if we lose the next 5 games or something. I think there's a conversation to be had if we're struggling halfway through the season still when we have full strength bar Ricky Puig. But I don't think Greg Vanney is gonna get a sack. I don't think there's pressure. Obviously, there's a little heat in his seat, but it's nothing crazy where he's gonna get sacked or anything. So I don't think it's anything to worry about for him.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's fair to be critical on Greg Vanney. But I think, Paintsville's going to chase that one down. He's going to get pretty close. His RSL are being tested right now by the Galaxy. I think when you're, as Prod said, when you are the defending MLS Cup champions, this is the worst start any MLS Cup champion has had. Yes, you're without Ricky Puig. Huge to the team. You know, it can't be understated. He is the best player in Major League Soccer. So yes, missing him is going to hurt you. It's fair to say that the Galaxy should still be getting some results. Maybe not be competing for Supporter Shield, but have a couple wins by now. Sure. There's been a lot of injuries. That's why I think you give him time, and there's a lot of new players to the system. There's a lot of new players, a lot of new faces that you didn't see starting or getting a lot of minutes last year, like Isaiah Parente. Look how many matches he's had to start. I don't think any Galaxy fan expected players like him to have such a large impact as RSL or attacking here. Miro Garces does well at recovering that one. Harbor Miller is going to clear it out. Looks like it deflects off of Salt Lake there. I don't know. I don't think Greg Vanney's under pressure. In fact, I think the Galaxy could miss the playoffs this year. And you're still going to ride with Greg Vanney. I don't think there's any pressure to sack him because I'll put it to you this way. You sack Greg Vanney tomorrow, he has a job within the hour. There's so many MLS teams who would give up a lot to have Greg Vanney. It's the same coach. Like, it's the same guy who just won us an MLS Cup. I think we have to be patient. I think you have to give him the benefit of the doubt because he's earned that. So that's just my take on it. But the Galaxy have done well here, about 10 minutes in.
You know, I'll agree with you. I don't think he gets fired no matter what, but I just think like there's gonna be conversations had by a large part of the fan base if you continue this poor stretch you have.
Yeah, I
agree on that.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
That's not going to translate to the front office and him getting the sack or anything. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's anything to worry about for him personally.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at how much time they've given people. I think they're very patient with Greg Vanney because they've seen what he can do. I mean, this team is less than 6 months away, or like less than 6 months ago, we lifted our 6th MLS Cup. You know, I think it's just a lot of it is restrictions from the league to not have teams repeat. I think MLS's greatest fear is 1, promotion relegation, but 2 is a team repeating as MLS Cup champions and kind of becoming like a Bundesliga type league. They don't want to see that. They do everything in their power. As much as they even love markets like Miami and LA, they do not want to see any team repeat. They don't want to become the Bundesliga. So we've had to deal with that simple fact is that the system is built against teams repeating with the salary cap structure, the players we've had to lose. If we could have kept like Mark Delgado, Dejan Joveljic, this team's doing fine, even without Ricky, in my opinion. Like, it's just Greg Vanney's had to deal with a lot early on in this year. But I agree. You're in an LA market. You're the defending MLS Cup champions. You're going to have high expectations. The fans are going to be unhappy because you have a lot of them. So, of course, there's going to be fans who are rightfully unhappy with what they're seeing on the field. So, yeah.
And honestly, I think the results don't also show like our performances. I honestly can think one game where he got played off the field, and that was probably San Diego, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I mean, St. Louis, the scoreline says 3-0, but we were in that game the whole time. Like, we had the better chances for the first, honestly, 70 minutes. Same can be said for the latest game versus not Tigres, but the previous. I'm blanking on who we played.
Orlando.
Orlando, yeah. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
those two losses at home, like, we played better. We were the better team, and
Right.
the results just aren't going our way. So I think it's going to take some time for the players to also get used to playing without Ricky. And once we do, I think we're going to be fine. So I don't think it's anything to worry about.
Yeah. I think the San Diego one's a tough one, too, because you have no clue what you're getting yourself into going into that match.
Yeah.
Like, from a coach's perspective, if I'm Greg Vanney, like, I have no clue, because you could look at what they did during Coachella. You could look at preseason. Like, that's not going to be any indication of how they're going to do in the MLS, how they're going to set up. RSL cross this one. John McCarthy collects. I think, it's difficult when you go into a match. So, yeah, the Galaxy got ran off the field, but we're a very, like, tactically based team. When you could set up against teams that you've seen, that you know how they play, it fares a lot better for you. Like, obviously, but San Diego, it's like almost just going in with no expectation of what it's going to look like. So, but the team did get ran off the field. You expected more. The St. Louis game is just one of those where, like you said, the score line didn't really reflect what it really was. But the Galaxy, when they go down a goal sometimes, it could just lead to 2 or 3. It's just the way we set up, I feel like. Good recovery by Garces there, by the way. It's going to be a Galaxy goal kick.
I feel like Garces has really stepped it up since the first couple games as well. I know we were talking about him having a sophomore slump, but he's really proved that he is the starter for the Los Angeles Galaxy.
Do you think that lit a fire under him being benched for Zonka for a couple games there?
Definitely.
Oh, 100%.
I agree. You look at the Galaxy going into the year, I feel like Garces was like a pendant starter for me. Like, I thought he was probably going to start all 34 matches, like, barring rotation. I could have never imagined him getting benched for Zonka. So I agree. I mean, it was definitely something that lit a fire under him. But Paintsill getting in a scrap right there. Yeah, he is not too happy. These players are getting in confrontation with Diego Gonçalves. Yeah, he just fouls Paintsill there. Just pushes him to the ground already. By the way, Paintsill's new EP. Thoughts on that, guys?
Haven't listened to too much of it yet, but from what I've heard, it seems like a really good album.
Galaxy Runs LA.
There's a couple good songs in there. Can't lie.
Yeah.
I think Blessings is number 1 though for me.
I like that song Nobody. I thought was pretty good. And then there was another one I have to look through. But I've been actually I like it. I like the whole Afrobeats style that Paintsill goes for. I just recently kind of got into that genre, and I'm like, okay. I like what I'm hearing here. But it's Fine Like You is another good one. So I like some of the stuff Paintsill's putting out right now. I think he has a musician career ahead of him after he retires. Whoa, that is a dangerous play from Julian Ade there, heading it back to John McCarthy outside of the box.
I mean, knock on wood, but so far we've been pretty defensively sound.
Yeah.
I mean, both teams have. No one's really had a chance yet.
Mm-hmm. I think RSL looked a bit unsteady, at least settling into the match. The first couple minutes, they had a few moments. Yeah, Joseph Paintsil is just getting leveled, but Peck's out. Who's the next guy we could foul 20 times a game? Joseph Paintsil, step up to the plate. He's been getting leveled all game. There's gonna be yellow cards, I'm sure, dished out in this one. Do you guys think they made the right choice starting John McCarthy in goal and keeping him?
Yeah, I think at this point you gotta start the same keeper every time, and if you're gonna switch your keeper, then it should stay for the rest of the season. So I think we see McCarthy until he gets injured or he consistently is just costing us games, and that just isn't the case. So yeah, I think McCarthy stays for now.
Sean?
I think, yeah, especially when you put Minkovic back on the bench, you're not going to bring in JT. You're not going to be starting Brady Scott. So I think it's fine having McCarthy. It's just worrying. You can't afford to keep on making mistakes that he's been making. You can't be giving up 2+ a game because you don't have the firepower to score 3 or 4 anymore.
Yeah, I agree. I think last season you got away with some mistakes because, like you said, you make a mistake, don't worry.
That goes straight into the stands.
What?
That ball from McCarthy just went straight into the stands.
Yeah. I mean, his distribution is it's not great. But I like his shot stopping ability. Has always been decent for the Galaxy. I've been critical on McCarthy and Mitrovic. I'm fine with John McCarthy starting just because I don't know if there's any alternative to it. Is Joseph Paintsil running down the wing? Joseph Paintsil, I believe Ruben Ramos Jr. is in the box, but Cabral collects it in goal. Love that name, by the way. You got Kevin Cabral starting in net for RSL, everyone. I used to sign like full FIFA teams of players named Cabral, and so I've signed him on a few career modes. He's a baller. Good tackle by Edwin Soria.
Him as well, another player that's massively improved since the start of the season, in my opinion.
Yeah.
There you go, 1v1.
Joseph Paintsil. This is where you want him. By the way, another thing worth noting is the fact that Joseph Paintsil is able to return to his main position, which is right wing. When Gabriel Peck is on the field, he has to play left wing, obviously, because Peck's starting right winger. He made that sacrifice last May, which ultimately proved to be crucial to the Galaxy winning MLS Cup. But Paintsil is able to play right wing, and I think he looks a lot more comfortable out there. If you look at moving Gabriel Peck on in the summer or in the winter, I feel like you bring in a left winger, not a right winger, in my opinion, because Joseph Paintsil. Oh, Gonçalves is in.
Skies it.
Skied that. Wow. And he was onside. That's unbelievable from RSL right there. It should have been 1-0. Wow. You see on the replay, good ball in behind. Zonka tries to challenge, and it's just a really bad attempt by Zonka. That's really... Oh, yeah, that is Zonka. That's just really bad defending.
At least he didn't get any contact on that, because that would have for sure been a red card.
Yeah. That's not a good early sign for the Galaxy that you want to be seeing right there. And in fact, the fact that you blast that over the bar is pretty pathetic, in my opinion. RSL going again. I believe that's Diego Luna now. Yeah. We got Brandon saying that's going to go in the meme highlights. Yeah, it's going to be another RSL throw in deep in our own territory. Warning shots for the Galaxy here that they're going to have to, once again, avoid small mistakes. You saw the Galaxy have been playing fine this far. You make one mistake and boom, should have been 1-0 RSL. It's danger here, but RSL still on the attack, and the Galaxy's third right now. Gonçalves is going to get the best of Tucker Lepley. Catranes crosses it in. Diego Luna, 1-0 RSL.
Just
dude.
absolutely tore that back line apart, man.
I don't even know what to say. It's the warning shot was there 2 minutes ago, and the Galaxy just fall asleep at the wheel again. Tucker Lepley gets outdueled on that 1v1, and they just slotted him behind. I don't know how he's just that wide open in the middle. That's mind blowing. Harbor Miller on the press. Tucker Lepley, I don't know what you're doing there giving up the ball in that area.
Yeah, that's unacceptable.
Whose
There's no
man is
reason.
that? Whose man is that?
That was Fagundes, man.
I mean, RSL looked very likely to score at a point. Probably should have scored. They finally get it. Diego Luna, the countryman, rising star for Real Salt Lake, gets them on the board 1-0 here as we start back underway. Bit concerning to you guys?
Yes.
Oh, as
and
I'm
you're
about to
like,
get
"Okay."
another
Yeah.
good recovery, sort of.
I'm
Foul.
more interested. Yeah, it's going to be a foul deep in Galaxy territory again. I'm more interested to see how the Galaxy respond over these next 5 minutes. I think is going to dictate how this match ends. If the Galaxy kind of just fold over the next 5 minutes and have RSL, control line share possession, create more chances, this game can get real ugly. But the Galaxy could also dig themselves out of a hole here. They have to get back to playing how we normally play with possession, confidence, and just, once again, it's a mistake that we shouldn't have made. We're shooting ourselves in the foot here more than getting ran off the field. So RSL going to cross it in. Diego Luna, Harbor Miller, good clearance out. Joseph Paintsill to chase.
One thing, especially with Ricky Puig not being here, you don't have that creator in the midfield who can break down a midfield and then the defensive line. So you're going to see a lot of these Hail Mary types of passes to Paintsill, which
Yeah.
just you can't rely on working it every single time.
Mm-hmm. It's just tough. It's tough because it's like, I understand the Galaxy are without Ricky Puig and whatnot, and that changes the whole system. But it's like, man, we're going to have to deal with this a whole season here. Like, you'd hope we'd figure out something by now, like some sort of alternative. I know nothing can directly replace Ricky Puig, who's the best player in MLS, but like the Galaxy are not competing. They're not creative. Go ahead.
About Ricky Puig, the person in his position right now is Ruben Ramos Jr. I don't think we've said his name once all stream.
No.
So, yeah, that's
And-
just not ideal.
And Diego Fagundes, that too. We saw it when Paintsill was out. You kept on passing it to Peck because Diego Fagundes just cannot create anything against in a one-on-one.
I was absolutely mind blown when I looked at Fagundes' stats. I knew he didn't have a goal, but the fact he has 0 goals, 0 assists, and he's went 90 almost every game is shocking, really. Galaxy make a mess of it out of the back again here, but it will be offside, I believe, or a foul. Sean Jr., lace up your boots. We need you to slot in that cam. Go ahead, Sean.
I think at this point, it's going to be a logical move. I think any of us can go in that cam role, or left wing even.
Yeah, Miguel Berry does well to challenge that. I have the same amount of goals and assists as Diego Fagundes this far in all competitions. So,
And you're at like 900 less minutes.
Yeah, pretty much. So I would argue I'm more efficient right now as Peel gets in behind, challenging Amir Garces. Garces, good defending. He's been good this game.
I think it's safe to say that Diego Fagundes, there is a 99% chance he does not get that call up for the All-Star game, which is for.
You're not wrong.
Not making on the comeback here. Watch, Fagundes is gonna score a hat trick now. Watch, you just watch.
Right there, we have no one.
I would take it.
Ball.
Yeah.
If he can prove me wrong, then I would love that.
Yeah, Sean will do the Sean meme on stream if Fagundes gets called up to big All-Star. Harbor Miller getting involved in the attack. Joseph Paintsill out wide. Tucker Lepley. Lepley is gonna have a shot deflected off of Real Salt Lake.
I like that from Lepley. I like that a lot.
Shows aggression. I like that. Yeah, I mean, it's hard in a salary cap structure system, like in a salary cap system, when 3 million of your crucial allocation dollars are going to as RSL. Another chance here.
my
Big
God.
Zonka
goal
makes a
for
mess of it
RSL.
again. 2-0.
Diego Luna with a brace.
Unbelievable from the Galaxy. Unbelievable, man.
And
Zonka, yeah.
you just can't afford to be making those mistakes because, again, you do not have the capabilities of scoring through a game. You can barely score one a game. It's going to be a long season, at least a long another month.
Yeah. I don't
I
think
think
I
that
mentioned
throws
it yet.
all of our.
but
Actually, no. What's called Payoneer predictions still on, but I think me and Sean's are at the window.
No,
yeah.
mine's. I said 2-1 loss.
Oh, Sean. Oh, okay.
I'd
Then
1-0.
Sean's the one.
I'd 1-0
Okay.
loss.
Sean's the
I'd-
one that's still up.
Yeah.
No
Hey,
reason for that.
I will look, I don't even know. Zonka, what are you doing there, bro? Please give me a break. We like you said, Sean, we can't afford mistakes. This is the last thing the Galaxy can afford right now is to make a mistake, and Zonka makes 2 within 30 minutes. Take
I
him
will
off.
say that at least it's not your goalkeeper this time. So
I
Dude,
don't
have
there's
you
there's a
never
positive
seen-
I don't
somewhere.
think it matters. I don't know if I mentioned it yet, but this Galaxy team is killing me this season. Harbor Miller in the attack. Joseph
Bad.
Harbor Miller, just terrible ball. I don't know. I'm quite close to just being out on this Galaxy team doing anything significant. I still have a part of me that wants to believe that this team's gonna make a deep playoff push at the end of the year, but it's just been terrible this far this year. I mean, I can't downplay it. It's been outright just really bad. So I don't know. It just might be one of those seasons. I just
You know
did a
it's
lot of
bad. What's
Yeah.
called? I've been doing a fantasy. What's called MLS League or whatever. And I don't think I've had an LA Galaxy player in for a while, like in my starting 11. And for this week, I put Luna in, so I mean that's a
Yeah.
positive for me.
Didn't you say you captained them?
No, I have him on my
Oh,
bench right now, but
okay.
he'll sub in.
Yeah,
I also got Cabral and Nets, so I mean,
that's foul.
you never know
Oh,
with Galaxy. Considering right now, it's looking like Cabral's getting that clean sheet. So
Yeah, I mean, I think if you guys play fantasy MLS, the rule of thumb
think
this
it's
year is to
Galaxy.
go any team playing the Galaxy right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you miss Maya Yoshida a lot. You miss Maya Yoshida a lot this game. I think if it's Amira Garces and Yoshida, this game's a lot different. But can't change how it is. So
It's a shame because Garces has been. I feel like ever since that Vancouver game, he's stepped it up, especially in CONCACAF when Yoshida came off.
but I talked
Great
about
fight.
it earlier. Go ahead.
I was supposed to say, great fight there in the midfield for the Galaxy to keep
Yeah.
possession.
I talked about it earlier, though. After the Galaxy conceded the first goal, the most important thing was going to be the response after. The next 5 minutes after the Galaxy conceded the first goal, look what they did. You concede. Like it's all about the response from this Galaxy team. Do you just fold and let the other team run you off the field, or do you respond? Do you fight? Do you get back to playing? Because you can make mistakes. That's fine, but you have to get back to playing how you normally do. We haven't done that this far, and the Galaxy are they're in some real danger if they don't get themselves into the rhythm here.
A foul there.
I mean, there's such a big gap between our offensive line and our midfield line.
Yeah,
You have Lepley, Cerrillo, and Ramos all on the same line, like directly horizontal from each other. No one's offering a passing lane that breaks a line. And then we're just
Yeah.
hoping Painsiller or someone comes in and no one's checking into the middle. You see it right now. They're literally 2 in the midfield and 4 on the front line. No one's checking back. No one's running through. It's just not good.
They're just waiting for Ricky to run through, pick it up from them, and go on, but you don't have that.
But
In
it's
my
been
opinion,
months, man. Like my whole thing is like, I know you're missing Ricky, but like they've had months to figure this out. They've had months to have an alternative. It doesn't have to be exactly like it. Good pass by Tucker Lepley, but it doesn't have to be exactly how it was like before Ricky, because it's never gonna be. But you'd expect something more out of this team by now.
going for the Galaxy.
Galaxy get it deep in RSL territory here. I don't know. It's just interesting to see the fact that like Ricky Puig is such a huge asset to this team, but like what are we going to be at like match day 25 talking about like, oh man, if only Ricky were here. Like I know he's a top player in MLS, but like dude, it's just like this team needs to figure out a solution because like you said, Galaxy runs LA. This team looks dysfunctional. Like even visually on the field, it shows. So it's just a bit wild to see. How much we got a question in the chat. How much do you think the altitude and traveling from CONCACAF is affecting them?
I think
Yeah.
it's gonna play a part in the second half. I mean, honestly, you can see a part in it right now. I mean, I feel like I think Ruben Ramos Jr. is non-existent right now, and he looks gassed. So maybe that's playing a part in him. But yeah, I mean, our players aren't looking energized, to be fair. So I guess it
Yeah.
could be playing a part right now, but it's gonna get even worse as things goes on.
Mm-hmm. Portland have been decent without Evander. Yeah, that's different though, because they got another DP spot in return with David DaCosta. But
So you're just over 30 minutes here, and realistically, you should be 3-0 down.
Yeah.
yep. It's just the way things are going right now, man.
Oh,
Okay,
and
my-
your streams,
Apple
bro.
TV.
yeah, I was
bugging.
like, is the stream only one bugging? All right. Lepley's looked live and active. Besides the mistake that he had, obviously, I think going forward, at least he's looked pretty active.
Just no movement there.
Yeah, Joseph Paintsil's got himself involved. Nothing huge though. And I thought Garces. If you're looking at, yeah, I mean it's a good point. By JSSTN, the Galaxy have only had one game where 2 DPs have started so far. Not what you want to see. How many games into the season in all competitions now? Like,
I think it's
so,
like 9 or something.
yeah.
2 DPs and 2 U22s are not on the pitch right now.
I think this is our 10th now, because he
Is
had
it 10?
he had 3
10 in all
CONCACAF,
comps.
and then this is our
Okay.
7th MLS. So this is the benchmark here. We're into double-digit games, and the Galaxy have a 1 win, and it's at home against Herediano. RSL. Oh, he's
He's
running.
absolutely done in Ade there.
Really good block by McCarthy there. Was that Garces?
I
It's
think it's Garces, but
Garces.
he got some of McCarthy on that. It's a good block out. It definitely prevented a goal.
I think you're going to see a lot of the same type of way that they got both of their goals, where they attack on Miller's side and they just cross it in low, because clearly it's been working for them, and it nearly worked for them again right now on Aude's side.
Yeah.
So just those low-driven balls into the middle of the box.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Brandon, does Garces have a brother that plays football? It'd be nice if we could just clone Amiro Garces and have like 2 of them at the back, just with crazy positioning, with all the speed. Any halftime sub suggestions? Get Zonka off the field immediately, please.
You want Zavaleta on?
I don't care. Oh, that's not a great clearance by Tucker there. There you go. Ade, get back at him. Okay. All right. We're going the wrong direction.
We're even.
Yeah.
We gave it away.
Oh my
Back into the
god.
middle. McCarthy runs to scoop that up.
If we conceded then, that was going to be a bottom 3 play of the season, man.
Oh my god.
This is prime 2023 ball at its finest.
Yeah. That's unreal. Fagundes now. Goal before half would do us very well right now. Joseph Paintsel.
Yeah, I mean, if we get one goal, the tie completely shifts. But
Oh, yeah.
who knows if we're gonna get that goal? I mean, look at us.
Hit.
Diego Fagundes, though. Fagundes.
Blocked.
Rio. Aude.
The only thing giving me hope is that in 2023, the Galaxy did score 3 past this RSL team to
I
win
think
3
in
to 2 on the
2023
road.
we had a win by now. Joseph Paintsel.
There you
Paintsel down the wing.
Oh,
Lovely from
great
Paintsel.
cross.
Nobody
to
in the
Noble,
box.
though.
It's Paintsel and friends right now.
I don't think there's any friends though. It's just Paintsel.
Yeah. Paintsel and vibes.
I'm really curious on how these, in like every game so far this season, how these halftime talks have been going for Vanny, and like how much he's just repeating the same things over and over.
I don't know what I would say at halftime if I was Greg Vanny. Any of you guys have any halftime substitutions?
I mean, I think you don't want to like play the starters a ton. I think we get some rotation because the game almost looks lost if we're like 60 minutes in. So I think we start putting in, maybe bring in Zavaleta for Garces, get him some rest because he's been playing a lot.
Yeah.
I think you let like people like Aude, Lepley, what's it called, Miller. I think they play full game,
You might be right.
but
Yeah.
I don't think you play starters full game because we got
Give
Tigres and
Cerrillo
Mexico on
a rest,
Tuesday.
man.
Great
There we go.
pass and play.
Cerrillo's taken on a lot of minutes, and if the
Yeah, sure. Maybe get Prente in there.
Followed
Yeah.
by JP.
have him split, that'd be fine. Ask
I don't
Cabral,
mind.
ask Cabral to come back and sub for Diego. Unironically, would be our second best healthy winger right now.
I wouldn't mind if you see Surreal go another 90 again. He's just been solid the past about month-ish, or like half a month.
Talk about
so-
iron lungs, though, man, because then he's gonna have to go 90 at Tigres. Like, I fear for that man's lungs. He might be putting on more than Mark Delgado did last year at this point, because I feel like at least Mark Delgado got to rest some games, like, or at least didn't play all 90, not all the time. Like, absolute iron lungs from Edwin Cerrillo. I would just like, you're down 2-0 in Salt Lake. You're not at home. You're in altitude. Just avoid injuries at this point. Just get out of this game and avoid injuries. Like,
Garces
Right.
again.
yeah.
I think we're in this game. I think oh my god,
McCarthy. Oh my
I think
goodness.
the sub that we need to, if we want to have a chance, is we take Ruben Ramos Jr. out, move Lepley to the 10, and bring in like Prente or something to the center mid. Cool.
Yeah.
I was like that box to box, or even Winder, because Ruben Ramos Jr. has touched ball maybe 2 times this game. Barely says his name, and he's supposed to be connecting the midfield to the forward line, and we're just
Right.
not finding him in any pockets. He's not in any pockets, so
I agree
I think
with
he's a
Hex in
sub.
the chat. Oh, go ahead. I was just
Oh my
going to say,
God.
Hex
I
pointed
got
out
cooked again.
that cross is going to go back post, lines up. Good block,
Good block.
by Harbor. Okay, free kick RSL. Hex points out in the chat, he talks about Peck being kind of forced to play that Ricky role. Like, I mean, I agree. I think, when Ricky Puig is out, you're looking for that guy, and Gabriel Peck's going to be the one, having that. Not that he's playing in this game, but like, he has to, be the guy to conduct everything in the offense. So Let's see. McCarthy and Zonka got put in terrible positions to clear the ball, and they're getting blamed for poor clearances. I don't blame McCarthy on really either one of those. I think Zonka's was fair. I don't think it's harsh to say that he should be doing better with where he clears that ball there. Just doesn't make the right contact with it. I don't think that's not being fair on him. I mean, maybe people Zonka. That was a penalty, bro.
I don't think so. You think it's a pen?
No. I was gonna say if he did give up a pen, that would just cap off an incredible game. But no, that is never a penalty. I don't blame McCarthy on either one of the goals, really. Do you guys?
No,
No.
that's on him.
Yeah, Zonka. I mean, yeah,
If-
Zonka is fair. I don't know. Go ahead.
If that was Yoshida in Zonka's position, that just doesn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, Tucker Lepley on the first probably has to do better, obviously, to not lose the ball where he did. Fagundes lost his man, so I don't blame Zonka on that, but I do blame Zonka for not clearing the ball properly. On the other one that got by. Bring back Douglas Costa. No, never. That should be. You should be banned for that. You should
Christian,
be
that
chat
might be
banned for
as elbow knowledge, Christian.
that. Bring back Pavone. Yeah, okay. It's been half a decade since Christian Pavone played footy for the Galaxy, guys. I think it's time to hang it up.
Bring back Carlos Ruiz.
Yeah. Bring back Kobe Jones, guys. Yeah, Pavone was great. It's just he played half a decade ago.
In a perfect universe, we have Pavone, Peck, Painsil, Dayan, just like every great player we've had. But
Yeah, in a universe without any salary cap, designated players.
great cross back.
Intranius crosses this. Almost
Really
3-0.
should have been a third one.
Mm.
We're getting ran over. Like scoreline may not say it, but this is an embarrassing one. I can't lie.
Let's see. Yeah, Douglas Costa, Mavinga won in El Trafico. So did Ethan Zubak.
Eric Zavaleta won an MLS Cup. That's all I'm gonna say.
Chris
He's got
Mavinga
2
also put up one of the stinkiest performances I've seen in an El Trafico. So
passes out.
in the playoffs, by the way. Mm.
Oh my god.
Oh
Really
my
bad
goodness.
giveaway.
Yeah, this is really bad ball. Like,
I mean, RSL, if you're gonna get a goal, at least let it be Diego Luna so I can get some more fantasy points. I feel bad for that Galaxy fan.
Eric Zavaleta has 2 MLS Cups. Absolutely. Bring back Grants here. CR7, yeah, we'll pay him in coupons. Herbalife coupons.
In 2024, Eric Zavaleta had 1 MLS Cup. You know what Messi had in 2024? 1
It's a Forest
Fortnite
Field.
skin. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
I know who my goat is.
we've gone into the trenches of the Galaxy season, truly. Catranas here for RSL. We will have a halftime analysis as well. We got Steven saying CR7 paid in food stamps and EBT cards. Yeah, at this point, man. Who will win? Food stamps and EBT cards for CR7 or $1 billion of Saudi money? Tune in.
And I
tune
think
in to
that
find out.
Herbalife, actually, he's already sponsored by Herbalife, so we can't even pay him in Herbalife stuff. He's already got it
Yeah.
all.
Just give him
Yeah,
the
we got
team at
nothing.
this point.
Yeah.
Give him ownership. See how much stoppage time's added.
Surely not much. Maybe looking at 2 minutes, 3
3.
minutes.
3 is enough to maybe get a goal here.
I mean, you haven't really looked like you're gonna. Have we even gotten a shot on target?
I can't
I
recall
don't
one.
believe so. No. The only time I remember Cabral getting the ball was on a cross, I believe. Ruben Ramos Jr. We just lose against every team that has Cabral on it. Harbor Miller. Surreal. This is better from the
Yes.
Galaxy, but RSL holding shape very well.
They're just scared of trying to make that risky pass.
Harbor Miller tries it. For goodness. I don't know what Fagundes is doing with the hair, but he's
trying
trying.
stuff.
He's trying. We saw the team. There were some interesting experiments they had last year, but I think he's had more haircuts this season than goal contributions. So Mario Garces out of the back.
Oh.
Garces shakes him off.
Rolls Royce, man.
Yeah, he's like the Ferrari in like the house, the like rundown house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's one on my slideshow. That's like a
Again.
slide of
Yeah.
my post.
There we go.
They just keep on trying to cross out of either wing, but they can't because RSO know our game plan, so they're just gonna put two of their guys at the edge of the box. So then
Yeah.
that leaves the Galaxy going back into the middle, but then
Oh,
nobody
they-
wants to make the
Yeah.
risky passes into the middle. So it's really easy to limit the LA Galaxy on their chances. You just have to wait, really. Just be patient. They're just gonna keep on passing it around. At some point, they're gonna make the risky pass because they're frustrated, and then
There we go.
oh, what?
I thought he blasted that. Good hit from Ruben Ramos. He's been quite invisible all this game, but shows up and's like, I'm here, everyone. I'm here. Almost rifles that into the back of the net. Good look there. That would have been nice to have one back before half. I believe that would change completely the conversation that Greg Vanny's about to have with this team.
Yeah, I think
But
Ramos Jr. comes off at the half.
yeah. The Galaxy, that will be halftime. We are down 2-0 to Real Salt Lake. All things considered, could have been worse. Could have really been worse. So I will be back. I am going to get a water. But if somebody wants to I'll be back in like 2 minutes. If anyone wants to run the halftime, we will have a whole halftime segment here on you guys could take questions from the chat and whatnot and just discuss what's been happening so far. So I will be back in a minute.
Yeah,
So let's get your guys' thoughts in the chat here. While you guys are at that, back to that Ramos shot. That kind of proves my point just a little bit how RSL were patient, the Galaxy got frustrated, and then tried something risky and lost possession from it.
Honestly, it could be a worst half of LA Galaxy soccer this season so far. I agree with Justin in the chat. So, I mean, we created no offense. We almost conceded 4 goals. Lucky to only have conceded 2. So, I mean, yeah, I think that's right, Justin. I think that could be the worst half we've ever seen this year. And I'm afraid that it can get worse. And this next half might be even worse.
I would ask you your player of the half or the game so far, but I have a feeling that would be Garces. So who would you say has been the worst player of the half?
Zonka. Easy.
Zonka.
Yeah. I mean, pass the ball right to Luna on that second goal. His passing isn't the sharpest, let's just say, so far this game. I mean, we still have 45 minutes to change this game, so anything could happen if we're being real. But the possibility of that is not looking very high. Can't lie.
It's not looking good so far. I don't think we were mentioning it earlier. Neither of those goals were on McCarthy, really. The first goal
Yeah.
was a perfectly slotted ball from Luna, which is a great finish up from him. Got to give him credit for that. Second goal, again, you can't blame McCarthy. Luna's in the right place at right time. Slides that to the bottom corner again. Really tough spot for the keeper to get to. I don't think any keeper on the Galaxy makes either of those saves for sure.
Yeah, no chance. I mean, he's a no man's land because of our defense and their positioning.
How much more different do you think this game would be if we had Peck and Yoshida?
I think it's a completely different game. I mean, RSL, we're at our lowest point right now, and RSL is, I mean, they're beating us, but it's not like we're getting played off the park completely. Like, we've had at least a couple half chances, let's just say. So I think if we have a Peck and Yoshida, obviously that second goal doesn't go in, and we also have more of an attacking threat. So I feel like we can be critical about the LA Galaxy right now and what we've done so far, but we still haven't seen our full strength team, minus Ricky Puig, that we're going to be seeing for the rest of the season. So I think versus not Tigres, because I don't think that's a fair chance, but the next MLS game, I forget who we play, but I think that's a fair
Houston
assessment of
Dynamo.
whether it's Dynamo. That Dynamo game is going to be a decider on how good we're going to be with our full strength team. So I'd expect Yoshi to be back, Peck to be back, Painsel's back, obviously. We're gonna get at least 90 minutes from our best team possible. So if we do good that game, then I think all worries go away. But if we struggle in that game, the alarm bells start ringing, and it's gonna be a long season, confirmed.
Yeah, looking back at the highlights on Apple TV, it just showed that miss that Salt Lake had when Zonka tried getting a challenge in. And again, we are very fortunate that Zonka did not get connection there. 100% would have been a red card.
Yeah. And then I also want to introduce Griffin. Welcome for halftime analysis. Are you going to be here second half?
No, I might pop in a little later in the second half, but
All right, cool. What's up?
not a bad half. We can build on this, right?
Are we watching this
sure.
game?
No, I'm kidding. This is
No.
this is as bad as it's been. Like I was optimistic for other parts of the season, but now it's like it's done.
Fagundes' highlight of the season is the blue hair.
Griffin, what do the Galaxy need to do to get back into this game?
Fix Ricky Puig's ACL. Make Jovic and Delgado come back.
Yeah, beg them, please.
Yeah. I don't even know. Like this game's been. It doesn't feel real.
Yeah. It's been really bad. You know what?
That's so right. It feels like
we brought out the ice cream to watch the rest of this game. I simply cannot watch this game without ice cream.
It feels like a Sunday league game from the Galaxy. It feels like you show up on a Sunday morning, not much preparation, and you're down 2 at halftime, and you're just cruising at 2-0. I mean, nothing's happening for the Galaxy. We're not doing anything. So,
and it's not even like it's the same guys making mistakes every week. Like we've had a lot of goalkeeper mistakes, but like other than that, like Zonka's played well and he makes a mistake today. Lepley's played well and he makes a mistake today. Like it's just there's like a cancer in the team that's just infecting everyone, and everyone's taking turns making mistakes.
Yeah, someone said Mama Neil put a curse on this team.
Yeah.
Do you think we would be a better team if Neil was still here?
No.
He doesn't make a difference. I think you're probably still on the bench, not gonna lie.
Yeah, he hasn't been healthy at all this year, so
Yeah. No, I don't.
I like Jim Neal too, but
yeah, same thing with Berkman. Honestly,
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
Either one of them. Delgado and Jovic, yes, it would be different, but salary cap things. If we can get Jovic back, yeah, I wish. It's not gonna. We're gonna have to put a song out. Jovic, come back.
You know, respectfully, with that, I don't think this. Even if Jovic was here, I don't think we're much better because you don't have anybody getting him the ball.
Yeah, that's fair. I thought Ramirez has been fine.
yeah.
Ramirez has been good.
Striker hasn't been the issue. And I see there's people saying like, "Oh, trade Fagundes." First of all, you're not going to get anything for Fagundes right now. No one like his value's at all-time low.
Yeah,
and like you're not gonna. It's just like it doesn't seem like any moves are going to be done right now. I mean, we can't make any moves.
Fagundes, you're gonna have to pay somebody to take him off of you right now because they
It's
wouldn't even pick him
gonna
up.
be like that. It's
They
gonna be
wouldn't
like
even
that.
pick him up in the super draft. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's gonna be like that Bergman trade where
Yeah.
you trade him for someone and then like end up cutting him, or you trade him for whatever,
Yeah.
a draft pick and a bad contract or something like that.
Yeah, like Sean Davis.
Yeah.
You might have to be on the Nashville side of that deal almost, where you might have to absorb some of the salary of Diego Fagundes for this
Oh,
year to, get rid of him. But I don't think that will be happening. We might if it's one of those seasons, we might just have to ride with Fagundes ball until the very end, honestly. But
It's hard to be like to give up all hope in MLS now because so many teams make the playoffs, but like it's
yeah,
getting tough.
I'm
Yes, it's only April, but it's
yeah.
So I made a point while you were getting water opinion, but
Mhm.
I think if the Galaxy is struggling in the Houston game, so the next weekend's game at home, so I think
Yeah.
we're gonna have Peck, Paintsel, Yoshida back, like all our stars. So this is gonna be like our first fully fit team, bar Ricky Puig.
Mhm.
Do you think if we lose that game, do you think it's trouble?
Yes, I think it's trouble as it is. Honestly.
I think we have to. Yeah, I think even if we win that game, it's still trouble. But if we win that game, I'll have a little bit of hope because
Yeah.
like Houston at home, it doesn't get an easier fixture than that right now, or
Yeah.
maybe SBC at home. But if you don't win that game, like season's over.
If you can't beat SKC, just end the season on the spot.
I mean, they're gonna have the new manager bounce too. Who knows? They could become good again.
They could. Honestly, we might be like at the end of this week be the team that's looking worse than the Western Conference right now. Just because, I think there's alarm bells as it is for the Galaxy. Like I said, I'm almost there. I'm almost there and just being like, this team's not going to do anything this year. Like you said, Griffin, a lot of teams make the playoffs. You're still reasonably able to miss the playoffs. I think the line was 47 points last year to make play-in regardless. And you drop points as much as you want to come back during the season. Like, it might be too little too late for the Galaxy if we don't start picking up points now. Houston, I think, is a very winnable game, however. We'll preview that on Tuesday's podcast. We will have a podcast after the live watch along with Tigres. Look, if you could make a run in CONCACAF, fine. That's it. Because some teams, like the year Seattle Sounders won CONCACAF, they missed the playoffs. Not saying we'll win CONCACAF. In fact, we very well might be out of it after Tuesday. But, if you're able to make something shake, able to, upset a few things and make a run in that tournament, then maybe something is a bit different for the Galaxy on the outlook of the year where maybe it's a bit more tournament based. Maybe you're not focused as much on, how the MLS regular season goes as it is. I did not know Diego Luna had a spider tattoo. Maybe it's not as much a regular season based as it is making a Leagues Cup run or a CONCACAF run. So I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't want to. I mean, hindsight's pretty easy to criticize, but I do think that we rotate a little too much for this game. Tuesday's a big game, but I don't know. I just feel like it's still early enough in the season where like Parente could be playing in this game. Like he has been playing a lot, but he also didn't play a lot last year. Like I'm sure he would have been fine to play in this game. And even a guy like Christian Ramirez, you just play him for whatever 55, 60 minutes. So
what subs do you want to see?
I don't know. Ramirez, I don't even know if it's worth it to sub Yamane in at this point. I might as well just save him. I'll take Ramirez. I'll take Parente. I'll take who else is even all on our bench?
Yeah. You got Asenge at center back. You got Novak Mitrovic, obviously. John Nelson.
I think Mateus Nascimento, you might as well just sub him in at halftime. We haven't seen much of it. Just throw him out there.
You got Yamane, Winder, Nascimento.
We keep if we don't get back in this game pretty quick, put Winder in, let him get another chance. There's no point if it doesn't look like we're gonna get back in this game. There's no point running these guys into the ground. Let guys get chances. Give Senge his debut. I don't care.
Yep, that's fair. Galaxy Ronzale, what subs?
I think if we are at the 60th minute and we're still 2-0 down or even worse, I think we throw the game away and we start putting in players and start resting for Champions League or Champions Cup. I
Mhm.
think realistically, if we get one goal, we're back in this game. So I think
I
until then, I think Ruben Ramos has to come off because he's done nothing, or maybe Vanny has something in mind for him to play. But right now, he is offering nothing to the team. So I think we get him off. We move Lepley to the 10, and we bring in someone like Ferrante or Winder. Someone that's gonna be a box to box because right now, Lepley is box to box, and he's our only attacking threat in the midfield, which isn't
Yeah.
good enough from the
Yeah.
midfield.
Let's see. Sean, I'm gonna miss you, but you're this season's sacrifice. Someone said in the chat. Yep, you will be missed. I think Jalen Neal was scapegoated in the LAFC game last year. I agree.
I agree.
I thought he had a good second half after that.
I think he was kind of scapegoated in general, but
Yeah.
I also see that it was not a bad move to move on from him. Like I would have loved him to keep being on this team. Like if roster mechanisms weren't a thing, and like he's
Mhm.
making a lot more money on a U22 deal, and like he struggles with fitness and all that. So
Yeah. The Brazilian Cabral. I won't forget the fact that people were saying that about Peck about a month in last year. So we'll calm the expectations down on Nascimento. But yeah, you would like to see a bit more from him, especially the fact that Miguel Berry is starting over him. Miguel Berry did not do anything special that half.
I just every time like it's the
Yeah.
whole game plan today is just get the ball and pump it to Paintsville, and like it's
Really the same thing we saw against Tigres, except the
Yeah.
only difference is we had Peck on the right-hand side too.
it's like I can't think of a time Ruben Ramos touched the ball. I can't think of a time Diego Fagundez touched the ball. Miguel
Yeah.
Berry, I can think of like a couple like flicks and like hold up play, but like nothing. Have we been in their box? Like had a shot?
We've had 3 shots, 0 on target.
Yeah. I
When
mean,
did those happen? Someone's lying. There's no way we've had 3 shots.
they were
You
all
had
from
Ruben
outside.
Ramos.
Ruben Ramos has had one from the Fought Mob graph.
Awesome.
Looks like it's like 35, 40 yards out.
It
That was a
almost went. I
close
thought it
one.
went in.
That was close.
Fagundez apparently had one from the edge of the box that I must have missed. Oh yeah, 45 plus 3 and 37. My mind was off at that point.
Yeah, that's fair. Is this really the RSL supporter section? No. Go crazy, guys. Don't get too excited. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's the LA fan base. You get a lot of mixed reactions from people, especially when we lost to San Diego. People are already ringing the season over, but the alarm bells are starting to ring now. I think people just I don't know. It's fair to. Oh, Eric Zavaletta's in for Zonka. That was my substitution.
You for real?
Oh my god.
So we're throwing the
Zavaleta
game
ball,
away.
we are here.
That's the halftime song.
Zavaleta Hive, rise.
It's probably gonna take the armband too.
Realistically, no matter what subs we make, I don't see us getting goals in this game.
Yeah, let's see.
Definitely not for center back. I mean, Zavaleta has a brace. He has a hat trick a couple years ago.
Could Zavaleta be the guy to lead us to come back?
And Isaiah
I
Paredes
believe.
on for Ramos Jr. Called
Sunday.
that one.
Zavaleta, Berry, and Fagundes front three.
Oh wait,
Who says
Zonka's
no?
not off. Oh, is this? It was what Galaxy runs LA said. Wait,
No, you're right. You're right. There's 2 subs.
because I don't even think the Galaxy know. On my LA Galaxy app right there, it says that Zonka's off. So I don't know.
Good chance
Barry's
you're-
in behind. Barry.
Oh,
Have a hit. Oh, it's wide.
Yeah, that's Tucker.
that's good though. That's good. That's promising.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna run, but I'm gonna be back later. We'll see.
All right.
Right,
All right,
see ya,
bet.
Griffin.
Yeah.
I'm going
Yeah. So halftime subs we got Ramos off, Parente on. So I'm assuming Lepley moves to that 10 role that Ruben Ramos Jr. is in, and then
mind it.
Parente drops to the 8, and then straight swap Zonka for what's his name, Zavaleta.
I don't mind it, honestly.
Wait. Is that Zonka right there? Am I
Yeah,
tripping?
that's what I said. That's why I was trying to tell you earlier. Is that I thought
Wait,
Zonka
who
was
came off?
It says that he's off, but he's on.
Do we have 12
Maybe we're
players on
playing
the
with-
field? Am I tripping?
Okay, Ramos Jr. was off for Zavaleta,
Oh, is it
You're
Surreal
playing
come off?
5 at the
and I
back.
think that was it.
Surreal's off, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
Surreal
that's
off
it.
for
That's-
Parente.
Got it.
Wow, man. This is the trenches right here.
Does anybody know?
So they're playing a 3-back now.
How did it take two minutes for like MLS to figure out what the subs were? It's wild. I think everyone just expected Zonka to be off after that disaster class. They just had that one ready to go.
Yeah.
Fagundes is with the armband, bro.
He started the game with it.
Yeah,
Oh, he did? Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
well.
So
I
they're playing
don't.
5-2-3.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I forget who said it first half, but like, we had that discussion where it's like, yeah, maybe just take the guys who've had a lot of minutes out. Like, keep guys like Zonka on who are not probably. Well, shoot, Zonka probably needs to start Tigres too now because Yoshida's out. But ideally, you want to have that Diego Luna now for RSL. Luna
Launches up.
gets on the end of that. Goodbye, Ade. Yeah, Ade got clipped first half. I can't lie. That wasn't great to see.
What is that touch?
We're in prime
I
Barry
like-
ball hours.
I feel like Awude is still a great player. I know I've seen a lot of people hate on him, especially on like Instagram and stuff, about how he takes up U22. Just like people in comments and stuff.
I think there was a story that I just saw that someone was kind of talking smack to him. I'm not gonna point out names.
No, I see a lot of Nelson and Awude hate in comments. I don't think either is justified. They're really similar players to me. Neither of them really offer that much of a attacking threat.
Yeah.
I mean, Awude just gets more hate since he does take up that U22.
I think Nelson is just more like steady. Like, what you're gonna get from John Nelson, honestly. Like, you could go into any match and I'll tell you what John Nelson's gonna do the whole game. Like, nothing terrible, but he's not gonna do what Ade does going forward. But
He's the definition of average MLS player, in my opinion.
yeah.
Just like a solid MLS guy.
And sometimes your team needs that. Like, we won MLS Cup because we needed just an average left back to get us over the line. Just someone who's steady. Like, Ade was a bit, like fluctuating in form, maybe less of a certain. And as you see here, the win probabilities dropped to
Oh my god.
incredibly to 1.2%.
That's getting put in the slideshow at the end.
Yeah, not a lot of confidence.
Speaking of just an average MLS player, I wish we did keep Sean Davis. I don't know if we even had the cap space for him, but like, just a solid MLS guy in the midfield with Surreal. Probably could have helped Surreal's development even more. And maybe had him start off with a better season.
I'd rather have Parente, honestly. I'd rather have Parente starting right now than Sean Davis. Call me crazy, but
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, I don't think Awude is an attacking threat. So I'm reading the chat here. I don't think really any of the fullbacks are that threatening with the ball.
Ade is.
Unless if they get the space, then yeah, but
I think Ade provides a lot going forward, Sean. I don't know.
I always just hold fullbacks to the same standard as like Julian Araujo. I love Julian Araujo, and just his attacking presence was phenomenal, in my opinion. And I just don't think we've had a player really similar to him since. I think maybe Miller could grow into that type of role, but
Nah, I feel like Ade is always involved in the attack for the Galaxy in some way or form. Like, he's not necessarily racking up like 10 assists per season or whatnot, but like he's Raheem Edwards was all attack actually. Yeah. Little too much actually. Almost reminds me of Trent Alexander-Arnold a bit. Not that Raheem's anywhere near that quality, but he'll just be like jogging back. His Galaxy lose a spot. Very dangerous position, but terrible ball by RSL. I saw a question earlier. Best players in the first half. For me, Amira Garces was the best
Yeah.
player.
Payne's still drifting through
So-
here.
Lepley,
Oh, that lay it off, man.
Tucker Lepley.
That sums up the
We're getting
night right
chances,
for
to
the
be
day.
fair.
What?
Politics is one, and the game's completely switched.
Yeah,
We've had two decent chances.
yeah.
'Cause I think
I mean, it's the response you want to see from the Galaxy. You want to see a goal early within the first like 20 minutes of this half if you want any chance of coming back.
I think that was the wrong idea from Lepe. I believe that was Awude proving me wrong right there, drifting upwards, making a run, which no matter who it was, I think Lepley should have just laid that forward and
I agree with Prod. Oh yeah, go ahead.
try to get a shot off or even a cut back and cross. Just something.
Mhm.
Just something.
Yeah, I agree with Prod saying that was our warning shot, almost like RSL's warning shot that they had. And that was our, we're probably a little less lethal than RSL, but I will say that was, our real good look of the second half, where it's like, hey, we're still here. We're able to hang with you guys potentially. It's not gonna be a game where you could just cruise, play out the next 40 minutes, just pass around the ball. Good
Who do you
step.
guys think gets the sub in, Nascimento or Ramirez?
Nascimento. I don't
Yeah.
think you play Ramirez.
Really?
Not worth it.
I think you might be looking at it. If you can get a goal, and I think you sub both of them in, and
I
maybe
agree.
be looking at a 4-4-2.
I agree with that, actually. I just think with the current trajectory of this game, Ramirez has taken on a lot of minutes. Just let him rest for Tigres. Nascimento is a guy who needs minutes, not Ramirez. There you go.
Good
Foul.
free kick spot here.
Yeah. Set pieces are very underwhelming from the Galaxy standpoint, I feel like. I feel like we're not lethal. We don't have any actual attack. We don't have threats, in the air.
Fair play to Harbor Miller there. That was a great bit of strength on his end, shielding the ball like that.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, barring the one misplaced pass that he had to Paintsel, I thought Miller's been fine. Lepley over the free kick right now.
Give me a Garces score right here. I'm gonna say Garces gets this.
Whipped into the box. Fagundes.
Oh.
Still a chance. Back post.
Oh,
It's saved by Cabral. Cleared out for a Galaxy throw. Shoot. That was a good chance. That was a good look from the Galaxy. We've looked a lot better this half.
that was a really good save. That was Pains from the back post, just waiting for it.
Who served that ball in?
That's Fagundes, I think.
That was a good ball.
Dangerous play from Salt Lake.
Justin Glad out of the bag.
I mean, we're getting those warning shots in, but do you guys think we even get 3 clear-cut chances for the rest of the game? Minimum 3?
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, this time
Yeah.
we just have to take them. We've had 2, and we wasted them. So maybe those are 2 of the 3 chances. So
I think a lot of it's momentum, honestly. If the Galaxy can continue on this momentum and pick a goal off within the next 5 to 10 minutes, you're looking in a real good spot to create more chances. But that being said, RSL looking to add a third.
Goal kick.
All right. Whatever you guys do, please do not crash out like the other galaxy. Yeah, no, I don't. Sometimes I feel like less words after a loss is probably better when you don't have anything good to say about the team.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I tend to just err on the side of logging out of Galaxy Buzz or whatever after a loss, and just making sure that you know, however I feel, I just like to air it out on the podcast and more so give it time to marinate instead of being reactionary about certain things. So Peyton, do something about this. I'm lacing them up right now. I'll lace them up. I got you guys. Me and Sean in the midfield, and then you got Galaxy runs LA up top. We're gonna cook.
Proper pro clubs vibes there.
Yeah. Oh, they
Corn ball.
cast the ball up cheap there.
Great recovery though.
Good interception by Zonka. Yeah, this is what we get for the failed Jody transfer. Yes.
Can't believe that deal fell through. Oh, here comes Nascimento.
Paint's still coming off.
Paint's still off.
Good.
And
And
Fagundes.
who goes to the right then?
Winder, there
Winder's
you go.
in, yes sir.
Um,
We'll probably go to up top then, right? Surely.
yeah, probably.
5-3-2. Yeah, 5-3-2.
I have confidence we're gonna score now.
Okay.
Also,
Better
Nasty
go,
Mance
John.
was in there. I still have him as my breakout player of the year.
Yeah, me too.
I think you
Terrible
and me
shot
both
for me.
had
I think we're
we
the
both
only
had very
ones.
similar predictions there.
Add Winder. Thanks a lot, Sean.
I think most of the Galaxy accounts actually had Winders. I haven't.
I would say the breakout player right now has been Parente.
Oh yeah.
And I
We've looked
actually
a
don't
lot
know
more
if it's even
live.
close. Go ahead.
I would say Miller actually for that, but no, we've been much more live this
Over
half.
Parente?
Yeah.
Really? That's
Mm.
I'm Parente.
yeah. Parente's been like going.
Miller's only playing because Yamani was injured. Parente's playing because he deserved it. I mean, Miller
Yamane
deserved it as
injured?
well. Or he was. That's why
Fair
Oh,
shout.
Miller's
yeah.
been playing.
I thought they're just managing minutes. Honestly,
No,
Yamane.
yeah, he's good. He's good.
Yeah.
I mean, Parente hasn't been bad by any means. I just feel like what Miller's able to do at such a young age.
Yeah,
He's
no,
had a-
I agree. Yeah. It's kind of interesting. We looked before the season, we're like, oh yeah, Winder, Nascimento, these guys are gonna be the breakout players, and it's like Harbor Miller. Corner kick for the
These
Galaxy.
FC
though.
guys.
I think a case for even Lepley. I mean, we've seen him not have like the greatest shots, but he's still very influential in that midfield. It's just such a shame when you look at it as well because he has to drift out wide to try to make up creative chances on the left-hand side because Fagundes isn't creating anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Lepley would also be a great shout.
I like the fact that Greg Vanny's trying things here. He's trying to shake something up. He's trying to get a goal. That's all you could ask for.
Doan.
Let's see. I think let me go out for a Galaxy throw in here. 30 minutes left in this match. Galaxy still trailing 2-0 to RSL. There will be a goal left in this game. There will be a goal, and it will be a crucial goal because it will either put the game to bed or it will bring us right back into this one. But I think the Galaxy are going to take a lot more chances going forward. They're going to completely sell out to try to make something happen here, in my opinion. So
See
Garces
Garces on the right-hand side. Garces absolutely tearing
Ooh.
through.
Turned into
Good
paint
by
cell
Garces.
there. Channel's inner pick.
It's always interesting because when Peck first came into the club, I think you expected him to be the more like developmental player who like doesn't start out as hot. No, like Gabriel Peck was ready to go, and Joseph Paintsel, I guess, is more. I don't know. I guess I always expected Paintsel to be the better DP between him and Peck when they're first signed, at least for the first like year or two. Not that Paintsel's bad in any right. He's really good as well. He's a top winger in MLS, but that was just I guess it's more impressive to how fast Gabriel Peck came along for the Galaxy.
And we're
Yeah.
lucky too. Paintsel started off the season strong. That first like month and a half where Peck wasn't
Mhm.
producing, Paintsel was bad
Mhm.
giveaway in the middle of the park here, lobbed up.
Yeah,
Good defense from Sauleta. Oh,
that's why you make this up. Okay.
Just can't clear it out.
Sauleta sent an absolute rocket into Prentice's stomach.
Yeah.
Guy.
I think Joseph Paintsel is fine up to the point where he switched positions with Peck. I think he sacrificed himself a little bit there. I don't think it totally changed how he played, but I think if Paintsel was playing out right all of last year, I think he would have been more productive, a lot more. Not than Peck, but he would have been more productive than what he had.
I think you also got to look at his stats from last season and realize he played at striker for a significant part when Dejan was out.
Very true.
Is he a bad striker? No. Is he a great striker? No.
It's not where you want him playing.
Yeah.
Good pressing. Here we go. Oh,
There you go.
Just giving it away cheaply.
Oh, brother. It's what was I gonna say? It was kind of crazy that we won MLS Cup last year without a proper backup striker. I always thought that was gonna come to haunt us at a certain point of the year, was the fact that like Miguel Berry was our first man off of the bench and we won MLS Cup. Like, I feel like
mean,
our striker. I mean, barring down,
Great block.
I feel like our overall depth is better at striker this year.
yeah.
Um,
In our depth chart for last year, it went Joveljic and then went Paintsel, then Berry.
Yeah,
Berry wasn't like our second
Yeah.
option, I guess, even though he's positionally our second option.
yeah. I just feel like I don't know. I don't really count Paintsel because he's mainly a winger. You could have him like anywhere in the depth chart, pretty much in the front three, though.
Yeah. I
It's
think that's
actually
the
crazy
reason we signed him.
Yeah,
if you want to touch more upon that. We didn't have great depth. You didn't really have a good backup cam for Ricky, because you can say maybe that was Royce's job. But how many did Royce even sub in for Ricky once last season?
they
don't
mostly
think
played
so.
together.
So yeah, again, you didn't have a backup for Puja, in my opinion, like a proper backup. You didn't have a backup for Peck. I mean, you had Fagundes as the backup for Paintsel.
Yeah,
I think-
well, you saw Fagundes start 5 games last year without Ricky when he had the injury spurt. You saw Fagundes start at cam. So that was another thing that was interesting. I agree. I mean, our depth wasn't great last year, but we also got very fortunate that we didn't get injured, really. We didn't have that many injuries. Like, we got very fortunate last year that it didn't end up becoming what this year is. The
I
Galaxy.
actually think we had one of the deepest rosters in MLS last season. I'm like opposite of you guys. We had Marco Royce, Champions League finalist,
No, by the
Oh,
end of
was
the
a
year,
good
yeah.
one.
World Cup winner on
Yeah.
our bench. Like he even wasn't even coming in. We had Gaston Brugman, who was almost like 1 million salary on the bench. We had Cuevas, who shown he was very lively coming off the bench, on the bench, and barely got any minutes. We had Tucker Lepley, who's shown that he's capable of playing this league. Like we had a really deep roster last year.
Yeah. I'm talking about like going into the season.
Oh,
Like
got
going
it.
into the season, how do you feel about our depth? I know there's a lot of conversation about us perhaps lacking in depth at the beginning here. Cabal's going to collect again. I mean, it's been 20 minutes so far this half, and the Galaxy have not pulled back a goal. We've looked better, but it hasn't translated into score sheet yet.
Much more
Refreshing
lively here into the middle.
pass.
Ah, just too heavy again. Trying to look for Barry, I believe that is, in the middle.
Yeah.
Nascimento.
Now you see Zavaleta get the armband. The people's captain.
And Vanny's cousin. Nephew.
One
Nephew.
sec.
And RSL playing out the back. Great recovery again from the Galaxy. For cheaply giving it away.
Really been the story of this game is the giveaways.
And then he's in.
Over the
Indeed.
top.
Good.
Luna. Whew. There you go, Zonka. It's been a better second half from Zonka, honestly. You might see him get taken out at a point to preserve him for Tigres.
I say if we haven't scored by like the 80th minute, then you could see that. I think I get some minutes because I must debut.
Mhm.
But I think we're still in this game, so I don't think we take him out until the game's ended pretty much.
Yeah, I don't know if you bring on a Senge as much as you like. Maybe bring on another attacking threat, whatever that may look like on the bench. Like even like Sean said, maybe Christian Ramirez to get something going.
Playing all three of your strikers at once, though, if you don't sub off Barry.
What is there to lose? What is there to lose? Maybe. Well, you could also sub off Barry. That's probably the right substitutions. RSL shoot wide. That game versus Minnesota in the playoffs might have been the best we played in the past 5 years. That was such a good game. That was such a thrilling game to be at.
Dude, from the very first minute until the very last, we were just dominating.
Yeah. They
Bad giveaway again.
they had moments, but
Okay.
I would also argue the Colorado game was such a complete performance for the Galaxy. The one at home. The one away, I think the scoreline was a bit unfair on them.
It's a no
that is a
from
foul.
Winder.
Has to be. Yeah, it is. Deep in RSL
Yellow
territory.
card.
It's time to pull one back, Galaxy. Wait, what? On Vera, right?
I believe so.
Catrani's.
Oh, okay.
I left back.
Okay, Katranis. Vera has also been a guy that's been very active and physical in this match. Maybe should be on a yellow by now.
You know, it's I'm reading the chat here. It's very easy to talk about last season compared to this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so much easier. Like I can go on for hours about how great the playoffs was and how, in my opinion, none of the goals in the playoffs were on McCarthy or anything like that.
Yeah.
Man, it was just such a better time.
Yeah. I think the 4-2 El Tráfico is really the turning point of last season, if you think about it. Where that game happened and you're like, okay, like this team's capable of beating LAFC. The Houston game really let me down. It made me question things. Galaxy take this free kick. They want a foul in the penalty area, but I don't think that's going to be given. Zavaleta goes down. Goal kick RSL.
That was an interesting week.
Arsenal's
That
very
Old Trafford.
sloppy out the back.
Here we go. Nascimento.
We gotta take advantage. We gotta punish them. It's like 5 times we've won it in their half. We've just done nothing with it.
Yeah.
My God.
That's why our passing is just poor.
Oh. He's down.
Yeah, what a week for that Old Trafford. 3 games that week, all of them. The Galaxy were in a 4-2 game. Won 2 of them 4-2 and lost 1 4-2.
My God. Love with an absolute Brexit tackle. He's lucky he didn't get contact.
Yeah, I don't know about that. And I mean, I wouldn't say. I mean, last season we were just that team. Like, I wouldn't say You need some luck to be champions, though. Let's be very clear. To be MLS champ, name me an MLS champion that didn't have a little luck go their way. Second place is only because of the other team across town's decision to want to get first place that bad. They had complete control of that. That's why I always find it funny when they're like, you guys had an easy playoff run. You had the choice to take our same playoff path that we had. And they opted for the harder one because they wanted bragging rights at the time that came to bite them back. Rapids were missing key players. We ran the Rapids off the field. I don't think it matters, really. Minnesota got slapped, yeah. Seattle missing key players. Yeah, I mean, that's just MLS, though. I mean, Red Bulls were also in really good form. You got to remember, we slapped Minnesota. Minnesota were the best team since August. And then before that, and then the next game is against Seattle, best team since June. You know, like, I don't know. I feel like, oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
No,
if your team
okay, go ahead. Yeah.
is in the playoffs and you lose against the team who has a guy on a torn ACL for 30 minutes, and that's on you.
Yeah. That's also a very fair argument. Like, you couldn't score. And I get one of their guys, I forget, it's the midfielder was out, but it's like, I mean, injuries happen. Look at us this season. It's a part of the game. You're never gonna face Yeah, I mean, fortunate for sure is, I mean, not having to go to Miami in MLS Cup is nice, but it's just how things pan out. You can't control them. You can only play what's in front of you. Nascimento is going to be booked here likely for challenge on Cabral. Yeah, that wasn't a good one. Keeper's down in some pain here. Time is ticking away on the Galaxy right here. Lepley whips the ball to Zavaleta, and Nascimento thinks he's going to get it, which is why I don't think he's going to be booked. But, yeah, he doesn't get that. I also think it was just fate for the Galaxy to win MLS Cup last year with the way that Ricky Puig was playing in the playoffs. Like, even on a torn ACL, like winning MLS Cup for Ricky, like Red Bulls were a very good team in the playoffs. Like, they beat everybody. Like, they beat everybody in front of them. They had an incredible run. They honestly could have tied that game up. They had some chances. It was a close MLS Cup.
Nelson comes in for Aude.
Yeah. Just more defensive subs to the Galaxy. Trying to make something shake. Bring some fresh legs on. Aude probably should start Tigres, in my opinion. I don't know if they will. Zonka. Parente wants Parente's down.
Oh no.
Oh,
That
yeah.
doesn't look
That's
good.
like a dislocated shoulder or something.
That's not what you want to see. He's been so crucial in the midfield since Sanabria has been out.
He's shielding the ball. He gets dragged. Oh yeah.
Should have been a foul. Yeah.
Yeah, it's his shoulder.
Just more injuries for the Galaxy right now. Not what you want to see. Hopefully Isaiah Parente is okay.
We even still have him on the bench. Can we bring in for him?
This one you just bring
See
in
ya,
Ramirez.
Appreciate you guys sticking around, even though this is not the greatest times for the Galaxy right now.
We've already used all our subs.
Yeah. We might have to play with 10.
No way. No way.
I thought if it's an injury, they can get subbed off, or is that only a head injury?
Concussion.
Head
Concussion.
injury.
Head injury, oh, for sure.
Hope.
If any game describes the 2025 season for the LA Galaxy, it's this one.
Yeah. I'd rather. And I mean, what do you do at Tigres without Isaiah Parente even past this match? Like, I guess Tucker Lepley, but I mean, Parente has just been so huge for this Galaxy team.
I think you're looking at a midfield three for Tigres now of Winder, Surreal, and Lepre.
No, you're not, bro.
Oh, do you
Yeah.
start Ruben Ramos Jr. there instead? I mean,
No, what you do is start Tucker Lepley.
no, that's what I said. I'm saying your midfield three will be Surreal, Winder, and Lepre.
No, because Peck's gonna be back for the match. It's gonna be Fagundes, Surrio, and Lepley. In my opinion. Do you disagree with that?
I can see it. How long did Fagundes go today? An hour?
About.
About. And maybe he goes an hour again and then gets subbed off.
Yeah.
Parente still holding the shoulders. He's getting walked off.
I mean, I don't know what the recovery time is for a dislocated shoulder, but is he going to come back into this match? I
He's
don't
got
know.
to. We don't have another sub.
Amerigar says, Elijah Winder. What do you want to see out of Elijah Winder? Besides the obvious of goals, Sean, what do you want to see out of him?
I want him to see him have like high pressing plays just there, trying to body anybody. Like similar just to Mark Delgado, really.
Yeah.
Say that about any midfielder though.
Yeah, I feel like I want to see him be a bit more physical, be a bit more active, challenge people to duels more, just like, I feel like he has the physique for it. I just feel like he's not, properly adjusted perhaps to MLS yet.
Yeah, he's not a small guy by any means. He's like 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah.
Just not good enough on his end this season, really.
I don't know if Parente is coming back in.
I think he has to wait for the play to stop or something.
What a warrior if he ends up playing because realistically we could just play with 10 men the rest of the match. This game looks well out of the window. Like,
Here it comes.
all right,
He's on.
he's back in. Warrior takes a different type of guy to play a 2-0 in altitude down with a dislocated shoulder. Just tuned in. But why do you guys think that Vanny is more worried about Champions Cup than MLS play? I think partly, I don't know if you guys disagree, but just the fact we're further in the tournament than we are MLS. I mean, this is the 7th MLS game, and we have a chance to be in the semifinals. I think CONCACAF's just known as a more prestigious like competition in terms of like global recognition. But you guys?
I mean, Champions Cup is the equivalent of a European team's Champions League. I think, of course, you're gonna play your best players and rest your players for a Champions League match. Let's say affect your Barca. Like just today, they're resting Rafinha and then playing him for 60 minutes, and a pretty tough challenge for Real Betis. So I think it's just a similar situation. Like Champions Cup is our like only hope for a trophy this season, if we're being honest. So we're gonna put all our eggs in that basket because right now it's not looking likely we're gonna get very far in MLS.
Yeah. RSL players down. Yeah, I agree. Sean, anything else?
I couldn't agree more. It's, in my opinion, the biggest trophy you can win outside of Club World Cup. But I mean, most people don't care too much about Club World Cup.
I mean, yeah, you wouldn't expect an MLS team to
Yeah.
win that. When will we be fully healthy minus Puig? Well, the injuries keep mounting for the Galaxy, so I don't know if we'll reach a point this season where we're fully healthy minus Puig. But
Hopefully
I would
not.
also subtract Cuevas from that. I think, like Galaxy Runs LA said, Houston, you're looking pretty healthy. I think you would see Peck in that match. Ramirez, Paintsville, hopefully Parente, Cerrillo, Fagundes, Aude, Yoshida probably back by that point. Maybe, actually, I'm not totally sure on that, but probably Houston. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think Houston's like our full 11 healthy. Obviously, we're not gonna have our like bench players all fully healthy, but I think if we're looking at starting 11 at full capacity, minus Ricky Puig, that's next Saturday. Is it
Yeah.
Saturday or Sunday? Forget.
Probably, I think
Saturday.
Saturday.
Saturday, yeah.
We've had a lot of Sunday games this far.
Yeah.
Hey, you're looking at Houston. Maybe Yoshida's on the bench. Maybe.
Yeah.
But I think you start him, depending on how Zonka does midweek.
I mean, yeah, if Yoshida's ready to go, I would throw him into that lineup. There's a lot of MLS games on today. Of course, Galaxy's next match will be at Tigres. They have to travel up to Mexico. It doesn't get much easier after this, I'll tell you that much. That match will be at 6 p.m. We will have a live watch along of that. And then Galaxy Houston is indeed on a Saturday. Should be interesting. These next couple games, I think, will really define where the Galaxy season are going. What team will the Galaxy beat to get their first win in MLS play? Call your shot, guys.
Houston Dynamo.
Sean?
Hopefully Houston.
I think it will also be Houston. I don't think Houston are that good this year.
We also said
I think
RSL's
Houston's
not good. We got played off the park. Not played off the
Yeah.
park, but getting beat by them.
But that was a rotational game. I don't think they'll really
Yeah,
be
that's true.
rotating for Houston.
I mean, in the first half, we did get played off the park. That
Yeah, it's
one of the
true.
worst half I've seen in the Galaxy in like years.
Yeah.
Garce is so good to be able to get to that through ball.
Oh, but
Kicks it out for a corner.
All right. Well, I think it'll be Houston. If it's not Houston, I don't know, man. If we don't beat Houston, then I'll say whenever we play Kansas City, because it's not.
Dan's gonna ball out in that game, that's for sure.
That's true. RSL working on Harbor Miller. Have a shot. Yep, blocked once again by Harbor. It's good work. Winder wins it in the midfield. Still dueling it. Good work rate by Elijah Winder there.
Good through ball. Lepley on it. You're 5 minutes left, 2 goals down. Not getting chances in.
Zonka just lofts that in the air. Lepley. I mean, Diego Luna plays him in behind. Zavaleta, good by Eric Zavaleta to return that on defense. Yeah, I mean, Dejan definitely seen players have a chip on their shoulder. I'm just like, I don't know, maybe the new coach head boost or the new coach boost will propel Kansas City this year, but they're not. That roster is just so bad. It's so incredibly bad. It's definitely a rebuilding year for them.
Oh my god, are you serious?
Good steal from Nascimento. Gets chopped down.
It's foul. Once again, in some discomfort there. See Pablo Mastroeni on the bench. Let's see. Free kick Galaxy. Can we cause some havoc with the end of this match? Hopefully we could take a goal off here and at least threaten RSL and make this game not comfortable for them to close out. Yeah, I mean, the pitch doesn't look great, for sure. The Galaxy have done very well at maintaining.
Oh, that was a good ball. It's like there's a miscommunication from Nascimento and Zavaleta.
It's going to go out for a RSL goal kick. 2 minutes left in regulation. Would not expect a ton of stoppage time, although the Parente injury might add a couple minutes to that. Don't understand why Ramirez didn't play today. He's played a lot of minutes. They're just rotating him because we played Tigres on Tuesday. Good press by the Galaxy. Nascimento's chasing. I also sort of feel Nascimento in the fact where I'm not like at training every day to say that that's gonna be a foul on Zonka. I'm not at training every day to say that Nascimento's like been playing great at training, but like I also feel like he hasn't gotten a good chunk of minutes. Like we've only seen him in spurts of like 20 minutes. It's not a lot for a player to, make a real impact in that short amount of time. But yeah, he could definitely be better. He hasn't been as active as you'd like him to see, as you'd like to see him be. But that's okay.
So like just playing back here.
Yeah,
You don't need to do too much.
Yeah. Galaxy pressing, but it's just not doing much. I think this team's out of gas. I saw playing down the wing. Diego Luna looking for a hat trick.
Surprised he didn't get it.
Yeah. I mean, when it was like 2-0, 26 minutes in, he could have definitely
7
Sim-
minutes added.
7. Do we really need 7?
Can we end it right now?
Do we need to see more of this match, honestly? Mio Garces.
Oh my God.
Garces doesn't do well enough. RSL now. Real Salt Lake. Eric Zavaleta is going to clear. John Nelson down to Winder.
And just not strong enough.
Yeah. Seen that a lot from Winder. Just not being strong enough. I don't know where 7 came from, honestly. I know Parente took like a couple minutes, but 7's a bit ridiculous, for being honest. Both of these teams, I feel like, just want to get out of this game at this point, if I'm being honest. Like, I don't think there's much more. Does the lineup they fielded today give you higher expectations for Tigres? For me, it does. Because I feel like if you're signaling, if every signal you're giving is that, hey, like, we're resting, we're doing everything to make sure that we're in the best spot to win against Tigres, we're going to rest all these guys, we're going to do a heavy rotation, then yes, I would expect you to be very competitive against Tigres. I don't know. How about you guys? Do you have higher expectations now that they rotated a lot in this game?
Yeah. I mean, it's always going to be tough, even if we have a fully fit team, and the team we have now, Tigres are always going to be tough. So it'll be a hard match for the Galaxy, but I do expect us to at least put up a decent fight, and hopefully we can pull through.
Yeah.
Chance here, whipped in, good away.
Saka just sends a rocket into the Arsenal player's abdomen.
Salt Lake just trying to drift up here just a little bit. Still gonna pass around the back a bit.
Let's see.
Versus are so good.
Yeah, he's been excellent this game. Looking at a standout player, it's for sure him.
Can someone see if we've even had a shot on target?
I don't think we have.
I feel like I could tell you without looking at the stats that we haven't.
Oh, I have to check that for you, Sean. Let me see.
Thank you.
0 shots on target, 7 total shots.
All right.
Ourselves on 6 shots, 2 shots on target, 2 goals.
So bad I'm going back to 2023 archives right now. Oh, brother. It's just painful.
It is.
See the Galaxy play just this miserably is not where you want to be at, are they?
It's good for Nascimento.
Another game where you gave up 2 goals again, though.
Yeah. Thing is, last year we would win this game like 4-2 or something. Like, it's just not there on the offensive side of the ball for the Galaxy.
Even defensively, it's just not there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a shot on target for you, Sean.
There we
Yeah.
This means
It's
more
only
than
up from here.
I think the real win was a shot on target all along. So raise the banner, lads.
We outshot RSL. I think we should have won.
I'd rather. Three minutes left of this torture. Marigar says. He's
Locking
been
him up.
so good though. I can't complain with the Miro Garces performance. He's been brilliant. Man of the match for me.
Easily. I mean, I'm not expecting them to be full speed ahead, like sprinting down the wings and stuff, but just no movement whatsoever, really. It's just sad to watch. That's all it is.
Yeah. Honest question, are we going to be in the running for wooden spoon by the end of the season? Call your
This rate,
shot,
yeah.
guys.
I don't think so.
At this rate.
Yeah, I don't think so. I would be surprised if we're in contention for wooden spoon at the end of the year. It's really bad, but I don't imagine it will get to that point for the Galaxy. When will the Galaxy get their first win? I think we're all in consensus. Maybe we're crazy, maybe we're delusional, but next game against Houston, I think we are expecting to get our first win, hopefully. We'll see. We shall see.
Ref, can you just blow the whistle, please?
I don't know why this match is still going on. how do the next 5 games look? I mean, you got Tigres, you got Houston. Honestly, I'm taking it game by game after in terms of MLS play at this point, and that is the final whistle. All right. Well, thoughts, guys?
Shocking. I mean, if we lose on Tuesday, this game's gonna look even worse. But
Yeah.
if we win on Tuesday, I don't mind losing this game. So
Yeah.
I guess we'll see Tuesday. Gotta be optimistic for that one.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, it is it's one of those days. It's one of those days. My prediction was 1-0. Sean, weren't you at 2-1?
That was 2-1.
Plus 1-0 Galaxy. That just
we
didn't happen.
yeah. I just think, it's gonna be a rough start to the year for the Galaxy to get back in the rhythm of things. It's rough. It's rough times. We're not going to sugarcoat it. It's not great for the Galaxy, but like Galaxy Runs LA said, you win on Tuesday against Tigres, nobody will remember this game. Trust me. Everyone will be talking about how you're in the CONCACAF semifinals. Now, if you lose on Tuesday, yes, this does look a lot worse for the outlook of your season, but at least at that point we won't have to worry about rotating as much. But any last thoughts, guys? Galaxy fall 2-0 here to RSL on the road. Sandy, Utah play Tigres on Tuesday. Thoughts?
It could have been a lot worse. We really should have went minimum 3-0 down in the first 30 minutes. Salt Lake didn't capitalize on all their chances, but they capitalized on 2 of them, which mattered the most. No drive, really, in the second half. At least near the end of the second half. The Galaxy just didn't have anything to answer Salt Lake's low block.
Yeah. I would have definitely thought there would have been one more goal in that game, at least after the 26-minute. Galaxy Runs LA, anything?
I mean, we just got a big game on Tuesday. I mean, let's say we do lose that game, we only have to focus on MLS, so that could be a blessing in disguise. But I mean, we want to go far in Champions Cup because that's our Champions League. So
Yeah.
I hope we win, but if we don't, I mean, it's not the end of the world. So yeah.
So, I mean, onward for the Galaxy. You can only go forward. There's going to be a lot of interesting takes on the Galaxy community. It's a big fan base. Everyone's got to remember that. You're going to hear a lot of things that you probably disagree with because there's going to be a lot of out there takes. So make sure you all take care of yourselves. We will be back on Tuesday with a live watch along of Galaxy versus Tigres in Mexico. And after that, we will have another live podcast. But thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate all of you. Once again, Galaxy fall 2-0. Galaxy Runs LA, where can people find you?
Galaxy Runs LA on Instagram, TikTok, and X.
Sean?
I'm Galaxy News 101 on Instagram and on Twitter.
And I am LA Galaxy _Buzz on Instagram. Thank you guys for tuning in once again. Always appreciate people in the chat who are there. Appreciate everyone. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't. So yeah, appreciate everyone. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. See you next podcast.